Hey friend, welcome to your practice. My name's Sophie and today we are doing a Vinyasa flow for pregnant people. This is great for all trimesters, first, second, and third, especially if you're starting to show the belly is getting in the way and you're looking to prevent diastasis recti and keep your abdominal muscles safe for a good recovery afterwards. This class is perfect for you because we will not be doing anything to potentially exacerbate that problem. So just make sure you're following along with me. There are certain movements, for example, if going from a three-legged down dog, stepping the foot through in between the hands, well, might be something that you have done for a long time and you're capable technically of doing right now. It's a good time to put a pause on that because the core strength that it takes to do that step through might cause that doming forward of the linea alba in the middle of the core, and that's what can cause the diastasis recti. So certain movements like that I've been learning through my pregnancy journey are becoming a little bit more off limits, and we're adapting to them. So I'm going to show you how to adapt to those, and we will still get a really good strength-based class in. And we'll do a couple yin-like postures at the end, but most of the class will be vinyasa-based. You can see here I have a blanket and 2 blocks. You don't need them. If you happen to have any or all of these props, then maybe you grab them. I'm putting the blocks at the front of the mat, and I'll cue you to where you could use those, but again, you would be totally fine without them. Okay, if that all sounds good, let's get started in a tabletop position. Now you may or may not be familiar with diaphragmatic breathing and relaxing the pelvic floor, but we're going to do a couple rounds of those here. So just do your best. First, spread your fingers and you're in a nice tabletop position. And as you inhale, expand the rib cage out to the sides, expand the belly forward and relax the pelvic floor. As you exhale, hug the baby in towards the midline. That's when you engage the pelvic floor lightly. Inhale, expand everything. Find that openness, the relaxing of the muscles of the pelvic floor. Exhale, hug the baby in towards midline. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, expand. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, expand. Exhale, wrap the baby in towards the midline. And then let go of that practice and just let your breath be normal. And we're going to take some circles around. Let's go right first. So tuck your toes and start to take big circles. Take your knees as wide as you need to create space for your growing belly. And we're going around. Bringing around town. SpongeBob reference. Hopefully someone got that. Again, knees as wide as you need them. Ooh, feels good to move into the hips. If your hips are a little cranky throughout pregnancy, that is normal. Switch directions when you're ready. Let's take 2 more circles. Whatever pace you're doing is great. The next time you come forward, we'll come back to a normal tabletop so that maybe those knees come right underneath the hips. Tuck your toes, come up onto your fingertips, and walk your hands back and sit back on your heels. And if this is too much for your feet, untuck your toes, or you can sit on a block. Or if you want more, spread your toes out wider apart. So we're stretching the fascia on the bottom of the feet. And then as we're here, let's reach the arms up. Interlace your hands, point your fingertips up to the sky, and keep your thumbs straight as well. So Kali Mudra. The other fingers are interlaced. Then take a side bend to the right. Come back up to center, side bend to the left. Come back to center. Release your arms down. Make your way into tabletop. And let's go through a couple rounds of cat-cows. Drop the belly, lift the heart, shoulders back. Round and curl. Maybe come up onto your fingertips as you curl into cow, or into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Go a couple more rounds on your own. And come back into a neutral spine with your hands flat on the ground. And extend your right leg straight back. Hug the baby in towards the midline. Bring your right foot over to the left side, so probably off of your mat. Press back through your heel and look over your left shoulder, so you're stretching through the right side of your body. And you'll probably, maybe feel this in your right calf muscles also. Especially just depending on the time of day. If you just woke up, then you'll feel more sensation versus at the end of the day when your joints and muscles are a little looser. Now slowly, we do everything slow while pregnant, okay? Lift your right leg up. This is to protect and engage the core. Engaging those muscles, the stabilizer muscles. Even out the hips here, bend your right knee. And we're gonna do little pulses here with the leg, pulsing up. So you're feeling your right glute muscles engage. Keep pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Re-extend your leg and set your knee down onto the ground. Beautiful. Slowly extend your left leg back. So no flinging, no quick movements. Even out your hips, so the right hip goes back, left hip slightly down, press into the hands. Then take your left leg over to the right, tuck your toes, look over your right shoulder towards your heel. Lift the leg back up, slow. Bend your knee and point your toes up to the sky. Important that you think about hugging baby in towards midline. Then pulse, 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 point your toes. Keep the arms straight. We'll keep pulsing here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly extend and put your knee back down onto the ground. Walk your hands back a bit so you can come onto the backs of the hands and have the fingers face each other and then wiggle out your fingers. So it's important to know that because of relaxin, the hormone that makes our joints and ligaments more unstable, that we have to be a little more cautious when practicing and work on building stability rather than a lot of flexibility in our movement practice. Come back onto the hands, walk your hands forward. Now we'll go into down dog. So your hips go up and back. You're welcome to, move that blanket if you have it. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Bend one knee at a time. So as you bend your right knee, look under your left armpit. And as you bend your left knee, look under your right armpit. Keep going side to side. Find stillness here. Lift your heels really high. Inhale. Exhale, lower them back down. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Slowly walk your feet up to your hands. Take little steps. Little tiny steps. Once you get to the front of the mat, your feet are wide for space for your belly. Lift up halfway. And then fold forward between your legs. You can grab onto your elbows. Now, if you don't have a big belly yet, your feet can be where they normally are. Maybe you sway side to side. Maybe you bounce a little. Then switch the grip so you have your other, grabbing onto your elbows from the other way. Release your arms down and slowly stand up. We roll all the way up, shoulders back and down. And reach your arms up. Then take your right arm back behind you, twist to your right. It's okay that your left hip is moving too, because it's all connected. So when we twist, our hips twist too. Reach your right arm further back. Then reach your arms forward and up. Inhale. Exhale, left arm goes back, twist. Toes are spreading. Reach a little further. Spread your wings. And then reach your arms forward and up. Inhale. On exhale, we'll fold forward. Bring your hands down to the ground. If you have blocks there, you can put your hands on blocks and lift up halfway. And step your left leg back into a low lunge. So if you have your blocks, you'll bring your blocks underneath your hands. If you don't, your hands are on the ground. Take a moment here to allow your hips to arrive into this position. And so if your belly is on your thigh and it feels restrictive, you move your right foot over to the right and you create space with both hands on inside of your right leg. Regardless of where you are, put your back knee down onto the ground and untuck your back toes. Open up your heart here. Maybe your right knee opens a little bit more to the right if your hands are inside of your foot. Good. Then we'll tuck the toes, lift the back knee up off of the ground. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the right leg into a modified pyramid. Inhale, bend your right knee. Now we're going to add on an arm thing. So as you straighten your right leg, reach your right arm forward and up. And then as you start to bend your knee, your arm goes back down into the block or to the ground. Inhale, straighten your right leg, reach your arm all the way up and around. Exhale, hand onto the ground, bend your knee. Keep going. So if you don't have blocks, stay on your fingertips so you have as much height as possible. And I do recommend having blocks at home if you're doing a home practice regularly. It makes a huge difference. One more time. The next time the hands are down and the knee is bent, pause there. Straighten the right leg again and lift at the bottom of the foot up off of the ground. Press your hands into the ground and push your right heel into the ground and pull back a little bit. Draw the right pinky toe back. Lengthen your spine and the back of your neck. So you're looking down. What we want to avoid is looking forward and creating that crease in the back of the neck. Good. Bend your knee back into a lunge. And we'll step the feet to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway. Your feet can be wide again here. Exhale, fold. Lift up halfway and step your right leg back into low lunge. So your blocks and or hands are framing your foot or inside of your foot, depending on how it's comfortable for you. For me right now, with where I'm at, I'm okay to have my hands framing that front foot. But make sure you're always listening to your body, which just means you're doing what feels good. Let's put the back knee on the ground, untuck the toes, shoulders drop back. Where's your breath? Tuck your toes, lift your back knee. Okay, inhale. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Inhale, bend your left knee. And as you straighten your left leg, reach your left arm forward and up, go all the way up. and around. And as you bring it down, your knee bends. And again, straighten the leg, left arm goes up and around and down. Couple more times, slow. Once more. Hand on the ground or block. Bend your knee. Inhale. Exhale, straighten your left leg. Now lift the bottom of the foot up off the ground so just your heel is down. Anchor your left hip back as you reach your chest forward. Flat back. Soft neck. Back of the neck is soft. One more breath. Bend your knee back into low lunge and step the feet to the front of the mat. Lift up halfway. Hands could go on shins or blocks. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll stand and reach the arms up. On exhale, cactus your arms. Squeeze your shoulders back and take a little back bend here with a slight bend of the knees. Strong core to keep you steady. Inhale, reach your arms back up. On exhale, we'll fold forward. The hands come down, knees slightly bent as you fold. Lift up halfway. Step your left leg back into low lunge again. So again, use those blocks if you need. I'll show it without though. Put your back knee on the ground again. Untuck your toes. Put your hands onto your front thigh. Press your hips all the way forward like you're sinking forward, and then come out of that just a little bit. So you have this sense of integrity, strength, and this hugging in of the hips. Reach your arms up. Grab onto your elbows and twist to your right. And again, bring your right foot as far over to the right as you need to have space here. So this twist won't feel as big because the arms are overhead. We're creating so much spaciousness in the torso, in the ribs. Let's come back to center. Reach your arms up. Bring your hands to the ground. Tuck your toes and lift your back knee. And step your back foot up and in for a pyramid pose. Put your heel on the ground. Legs at whatever width you need. Arms go back behind you into airplane in a half lift in your pyramid. See if you can roll the shoulders back like you're trying to grab a pencil between your shoulder blades. Squeeze. Spread your toes on your right foot. Then interlace your hands. Roll the shoulders back even more. Oh yeah. Rise all the way up to stand. Keep your hands interlaced. Slowly and carefully step your left leg into high lunge. So your left leg goes back, heels are up. Or the heel is up of the left foot. Back knee is slightly bent. Shoulders back, chest is open. Maybe a little back bend if you feel stable enough. Slowly release your arms and reach the arms up to the sky. There you are. Hold. Strong, powerful legs. And then we'll open to warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Inhale. Exhale, go back to warrior two. Put your right forearm on your thigh and reach your left arm over your ear. Rotate your chest up to the sky more. Firm up your left thigh muscles. And rise back up to warrior two. Flip your right palm, reverse warrior. Reach it back, reach it back. Keep the bend in the front knee. We're almost out of it. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground, either framing your foot or inside of your foot. And step your foot to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands back down to the ground as you fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step your right leg all the way back to low lunge. Set your back knee down, reach your arms up. Grab onto your elbows. Press your hips all the way forward. And then knit the ribs in as you lift up and squeeze the hips in towards each other. Inhale. Exhale, twist left. Come back to center, reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands to the ground. Lift your back knee, bring your foot in for pyramid. Lengthen the spine and draw the left hip back and lift the arms, both arms straight back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Option to interlace your hands, do the other thumb on top, roll shoulders back more. There's a micro bend in your left knee so that you have the strength and control to rise on up here. Step your right leg back into high lunge. Maybe a little back bend, maybe not. If you feel unsteady, just keep looking forward. Reach the arms back up. Crescent lunge, high lunge. Inhale, warrior two on your exhale. Straighten your left leg. Go back to warrior two. Left forearm on thigh, right arm over your ear. And the left forearm is light on your thigh. And the left shoulder is out of your ear. Think about wrapping your outer left thigh in towards the midline, or towards kind of like the right side of the mat, if that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, just ignore my cues. Do your best. Rise up to warrior two. Flip your left palm, reverse warrior, reach it back. Inhale, exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the ground, pause, and step your feet together at the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, stand or reach up. Exhale, hands to heart and arms down by your sides. All right, take a moment to readjust. If you're wearing maternity pants, you know how they're constantly falling down. If anyone has ones that don't, please let me know. All right, reach your arms up. Fold forward. We bow to our practice. Thank you, body. Lift up halfway. Good. Set your knees on the ground and come into a tabletop. So again, with trying to protect that condition we call diastasis recti after pregnancy, we step back into table instead of plank, if that's what you normally do. So from table, tuck your toes, lift your knees and hips for down dog. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, set your knees onto the ground. Step your right foot outside of your right hand and come into a lizard lunge. Tuck your back toes and lift your back knee up off of the ground. Plant down through your left hand and lift your right arm up, twist. You can put your right hand on your lower back if you want, on your sacrum, and start to turn open to the right even more. Firm up your back thigh a little more. And then reach your right arm back up. Bring your hand down to the ground. And we're going to step the left foot in again for pyramid, just like we did before. So left toes are turned slightly out. Lift up halfway, take your arms back behind you. If you can, reach your arms straight out in front of you. And hug baby in towards the midline. Bring your hands together into Kali Mudra. So remember, we interlaced all the fingers except for the thumbs and the index. Rise all the way up. Step into high lunge. Your left heel lifts up. Your left leg steps back a little further. Take a side bend to the right. Rise back to center. Warrior two. And on your inhale, straighten your right leg, reach your arms up, star pose. So we're facing the left side of the mat, toes out, heels in. Catch your breath. Take an inhale. As you exhale, goddess pose, hands to your heart, get low, low, low. Inhale, stand tall, reach your arms up, star. Exhale, goddess. Don't be afraid to get low into those hips. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Once more, mamas. Inhale, star. Exhale, goddess. Stay here. Shift a little side to side. Kind of very primal movement. If you want, you can kind of move your arms around. Bring your arms into a cactus as you find stillness. And stand all the way tall, star pose. Warrior two, facing the back of the mat. So you are facing the opposite side of where you just were facing. Good. Okay, so our move here is to go from warrior two to the front of the mat into a side lunge. So bring your hands to your heart. As you straighten your left leg, turn your left toes in, bend your right knee, side lunge, get low. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Land in your exhale. Again, side lunge. So your right knee is bent. Your left toes turn in the same direction as your right toes. And again, warrior two, back of the mat. Now let's keep going. A couple more. We'll do 3 more of these. So I guess that's technically a few, huh? Good. And again. And one more time. This is so good for our hips. So we're coming into our side lunge again. Let's stay high in the hips today. Take your arms out wide like airplane arms. Press into the outer edge of your left foot. And then bring your hands down, straighten both legs. Fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, walk your hands out in front of you. And let your ears drop between your upper arms. Your hips press back. Walk your hands back under the shoulders. Walk the hands to the front of the mat, back into lizard. Slide your right foot to the right. Now you put your back knee on the ground. So options here are to stay. You can put your forearms on your blocks or on the ground, or if you want a quad stretch and you're able to, you could bend your back knee and grab onto the foot with the right hand. Careful not to overdo the stretching, just to do enough that you feel stretched out, less tension in the body. If you want a little more, you might flex your left foot. And release the foot down. If you have it, bring your hands down, lift your back knee, and actually keep your back knee down because we're going to step 2. Table, that's where we just were. So bring your right knee to meet your left knee. Tabletop, wiggle out your hips. Step your left foot outside of your left hand, back into lizard. Now we tuck the toes and lift the back knee because we're doing our strong lizard first. Plant your right hand, lift your left arm up, twist. Left hand to sacrum if you want, as you rotate a little more. Reach your left arm back up, firm your right thigh, then bring your left hand down. And Step the back foot up and in as many times as you need to. Maybe you slide your left foot a little closer in towards the midline for pyramid legs. Then take your arms into airplane. So you lift up halfway here in airplane. Take your arms straight out in front of you. Kali Mudra. Maybe you interlace your hands the other way. Slowly rise all the way up. High lunge. Side bend to the left. Come back to center. Warrior two. We open up. Get low because we're staying here for one more breath. Straighten the leg, reach your arms up, star pose. Turn your right toes out. Now we'll go into goddess just one time, hands to heart. But now we're going to put the hands on the inner thighs. This is the feel good one, in my opinion. So your heels of your hands press into your knees. Drop your right shoulder, twist to your left. Come back to center, drop your left shoulder, twist to your right. Come back to center, hands to your heart, option to lift your heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, star. Finally. Warrior two, back of the mat. Feel the wide open spaciousness of your hips here. These hips, these birthing hips, capable of so much. And then towards the front of the mat for our side lunge. So turn your right toes in, hands to heart, bend your left knee. Come back to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And then front of the mat, side lunge. Back of the mat, Warrior 2. 3 more of these. Two more. And as we move into our last one, pause there. Maybe your arms go out wide. Draw the ribs in. Gaze down. Press into the outer edge of your right foot. Get a little lower in the left knee. Hands to the ground. Straighten both legs. Lengthen the spine. And fold forward. Maybe this time you grab onto the outer ankles. Spread your elbows apart from each other. Spread your shoulder blades apart from each other. Hands under your shoulders as you lift up halfway. Walk your hands to the front of the mat into lizard. So slide your left foot all the way to the left side. Put your right knee down. Untuck your right toes. And then any variation that you did before or want to do here, maybe forearms down, maybe a bend of the knee and a grabbing of the foot. And then we'll release the hands back down to the ground. Slide your right knee up a little bit so that you can easily step into tabletop position. All right, so now we'll come into a seat. So sit on back, and we're going to take the legs into kind of like a Supta or a Baddha Konasana with the feet together, knees wide, but in a more of a yin style. So we're going to take those feet forward. So you have a wide diagonal shape. And if you want to, you can sit on a blanket for a little bit of height. Okay, so first we sit tall here, hands on the knees, settle into your seat. And you can stay here if you want, or you can start to hinge forward and let your arms kind of rest down on the ground and let your head hang down. And what's really nice also is to use a block or two underneath the head if you have it, but you don't need to. And so we use that block to support the head. And we'll be here a little bit longer than we do for other poses, but not too long, so don't worry. The palms maybe face up on the ground. Shoulders relaxed completely. And as we're here for a little bit, you might notice that you're able to go deeper, but it's important that you're not going to your maximum capacity stretch here. For any kind of yin pose like this, you want to the way that you know that you're not too far is if you don't feel like you want to come out of it. So you're too far if you feel like you can't wait to come out of this because it feels so stretchy. You want to be at a place where you could hang out here for another 10 minutes if you had to. Okay, let's start to slowly rise up. Take your hands underneath your knees and bring your knees up. And take your legs straight out in front of you and we'll shake them out. Good. Now we'll bring the left knee in like so. So bend your left knee in like mine is. And your right leg goes out to the right. Now make this a nice wide, kind of wide angle. And we'll turn a little bit towards the right leg. And we'll walk the hands down and kind of fold inside of that right leg as far as it's comfortable for you. So we move slowly into it. Maybe once you get there, you lift up halfway, kind of back out of it. And then as you exhale, you fold a little bit more into it. And again, option to use blanket, blocks, even a pillow here could be nice to rest down on. If you can, rest the head on something if possible. That way you can really relax the back muscles and the neck muscles. Relax your left foot. You're not actively flexing it here, you're just letting it completely be soft. The leg falls in whatever way it falls. We'll just take 2 more breaths. Slowly rise back up. Slowly, slowly. We'll begin to switch sides. Again, nice wide angle. Maybe you kind of move your hip flesh out of the way. Turn towards that left knee and start to slowly go down. And once you get there, lift up a little, re-extend and fold. Let the head drop down. Everybody's bodies will look different in this posture, so don't compare to me. Don't compare to what you think you should look like. Support yourself as much as you need. Right leg is completely relaxed. We'll take 2 more breaths. Slowly rise on up. Take those legs slowly straight out in front of you. Give them a nice wiggle and shake. Then bend your knees, feet flat. Bring your hands behind you with either your hands turned out or your hands turned facing the front of the mat. And if you can, you don't have to lift, but if you can, lift your hips up off the ground for a reverse tabletop. Maybe your head drops back a little. Use the strength of your glutes, your butt muscles, to lift you up for 3, 2, on 1, slowly lower down to the ground. Come up onto your fingertips. Take your feet wide and windshield wiper your legs side to side. If it feels really good at any point, you can pause there and enjoy that. And the next time the knees are up, cross your legs. We're going to end with a seat here, so you can build your seat, with a blanket or a block. And cross your legs, or any other seated position could be good. You're also welcome to lie down on your side or on your back if you're comfortable there. We're going to close our eyes, relax the shoulders down. Drop the chin down ever so slightly if you're sitting up. Put your hands on your belly. And bring them up a little bit so they're on your rib cage. And as you inhale, feel the rib cage expand out, belly expand forward, pelvic floor relaxes, and just exhale. Inhale into all of those places. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale and release your hands to your knees. Let go of effort in the face. The eyelids be heavy. Let the lips part ever so slightly. With each exhale, release tension in the shoulders. And we'll sit here for another minute or two in silence. Stay and keep your awareness on your breath. Anytime the mind wanders, just start over again with the breath. And just say, and this one too. We just invite in a new breath. Feel free to stay here as long as you like, or bring your hands together at your heart. And we'll bow in gratitude for this practice. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked the class, I would love to hear from you, so let me know in the comments below. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button so that we can continue moving and practicing together. And I wish you all the best on your pregnancy journey, and I hope to see you again soon.